Alright, welcome back to Nick's course on stuff. The good stuff. Now, if you can't already tell that I'm excited, then I don't blame you. It's genuinely hard to tell. Anyways, it's time for what you prodigious people have been aching for me ever since my last video. Which is like 3 days ago. If you even watched it at all. Now, ache no longer, as here it is. Nick's Intro to Java. My CSC professor would be so proud of me right now if he watches my videos. Now I will be utilizing quite a lot of the previously discussed terminology covered on my Generalized Programming Basics video. If you haven't watched that, shame upon you. With the loquacious stuff out of the way, let's actually get started. You know, when I began making this video I felt empowered, as hopefully this is the second day from when I was last empowered, and I contrived this intuitive table of programming attributes for the occasion. You're welcome. As you can see, there are both rows and columns with things in them. Those things in them are roughly the most rudimentary aspects that all programming languages follow, which I devised. For instance, Java is dynamic, meaning that I can use it to act as both a neck brace for my godforsaken neck and a calculator. Convenient. It's modern, meaning that it was contrived within at least your older sibling's lifespan. Hopefully. It's compiled, meaning that the language is seen as unimportant in the grand scheme of things. Object-oriented, which means that it was directly designed to kiss that concept's tushy. And platform-independent. You see, developers including myself may be too lazy to just make a new programming language. So, they instead opt for the easy way out and add on to established ones, signified by the numbers next to the name of the platform. What Java means by it being platform independent is that it doesn't care if you're using the oldest platform and you want to run that on the newest one. It works. It's a special boy in that regard. Neat. Now, how do you begin with Java? Well, young Padawan, we need to first get the platform from the internet. Java's development kit is literally an acronym for what I just said, being that I tend to be the least motivated amongst normal people who study in the same field. I use Windows. Also, Unix called my mom and said she was ugly, so we don't get along. Now, on your handy-dandy Windows environment, select your poison of web browser and search Java SE download. Click on the Java SE downloads hyperlink under www.oracle.com. Select whatever JDK you want, I really don't care, but I will choose the newest one. Click download, and here you will have a nice selection of downloads to choose from. I like installing the zipped instance instead of using the executable for some reason. And it being the hardest way for you, I will do so now too. My internet hates me, so bear with me on this. There we have the JDK we need. Now we need to apply the JDK to our Windows environment, which means follow my steps. First, hold your Windows key and R key respectively at the same time to open the run search bar. We'll be using this command a lot, so in the spirit of me not constantly have to say it over and over again, just remember that command. Type Control in the run search bar and press Enter to open the control panel. In the control panel, go to the System node and click Change Settings. Go to the Advanced Search tab and select the environmental variables. Environmental variables essentially is where you want to be to add superfluous stuff to your windows. Now double click Path and leave it be for now. Next, we need to find a suitable place to put our extracted JTK. As I already have one installed, I don't care where to put it. Now get the URL of its current location and pick a blank little space to copy it and paste it in the path. And we are pretty much done with the step. Make sure not to eat too much candy and exit out of environmental variables without first pressing OK and then OK again. To check if we've done this properly, open our friendly neighborhood command prompt by holding the respective combination that I set before to remember and type CMD into it. Opening command prompt. Type java/version and press enter. If it says it doesn't accept that bell, then you effed up. If you made it this far, then you're just as loathsome as I am. Good job. Now we need an IDE. You can technically use just Notepad, but I am OCD as hell, so I'll be using Notepad++. The link's in the description below. Now we need to create our Java file using the Java file extension. Before we move any further, I just want to stress to you that the name of the file is very relevant. It isn't something you want to disregard. Finally, we can open our Java file. We just can't stare at it, so we need to start typing something into it. Java is an object-oriented snowflake, and it follows the concept like how normies and old people follow everything they are told. So we need to create a class. A class is a class, a room of empty desks waiting for monkeys, students, to do what they are told. We always have to enclose our gamut with curly brackets. Don't ask me the specifics. That's better. But I can't do anything yet, so let's add a student. Java, again, arbitrarily requires you to add their main kid that I don't really care for, in the form of the main method. Now, before you kill me, let me explain what I just did. Method is what you use to carry out actions, and is defined by a variety of data types that you will eventually know if you care about this at all. This one is public, meaning that anyone can steal its lunch money. Static, meaning that it doesn't need a reference to get a decent job, unlike me. You can call on it itself and it'll open. And void, which is a return type of nothing. Return types are important in that they decide what your method gives you. You don't want to go to McDonald's and have them return to you a salad in place of your French fries. That's heresy. But in this case, the main method has to be exactly like this. Finally, we are at the method's signature, the name and parameters. The parameters, the parentheses part, is where you put values that the method may or may not need to function. In this case, it's a string array called args. Done. Now we have a method to work with. I'm a good teacher, and I simply want to ask my main man to say hello to me. So, we need to somehow make him do that. Another shameless plug, I covered this in my I Say Hello World in All of My Languages video, so please look into that if you want to be more confused. In Java, we can make our champ here do this by manipulating our output stream to our system, which is like this. Like our parameters up there, we put what we want in the parentheses down here. In order to say words, like in literature, we need to surround what they are saying in quotations. If you don't, Java will find you. I will take this up a notch by adding another string with this one by putting a plus sign between these words. This is probably the most basic form of concatenation you have ever seen, which is very important as I've put this in the bare basics. Now we can't just compile this mess without putting a semicolon at the end of our output. That's just wrong, and Java won't forgive you for it. Now we can finally make our worst enemy say hello to me. Go to your command prompt tab that you hopefully didn't close like I usually do, and type cd to change the prompts directory to where your Java file is. Once that is complete, type java c and type the name of your Java file, including the file extension. Press enter. Done. You should see a class file has been created, which is the compiled form of our Java file there. Sadly, we need to type Java in the command prompt and the name of the class file to run it. Boo-hoo. And voila! We successfully made main lick my shoes. Well, we've covered absolutely the bare minimum to begin Java. Next, we'll be making Java calculate math problems as my new calculator. And believe me, it's far more superior than any calculator you can buy if you feel the time to actually make a Raspberry Pi for a calculator. It's very inconvenient. If you learn anything, great, but feel free to let me know if you didn't. Anyways, stay wholesome. I don't know how to say bye correctly. Just get out of here.